The Galactic Council was in a large, bright room filled with representatives from many alien races. They were discussing a new threat from a powerful enemy known as the Zorax. The Zorax were known for their ruthless attacks, and many council members were worried. As the meeting continued, a strange alert suddenly flashed on the screens. "What is that?" asked Vorn, a tall alien with green skin and 3 eyes. He pointed to a small dot appearing on the monitor. The dot grew larger, revealing a ship that looked ancient and worn. It had dents and scratches all over its surface, making it look like it had been through many battles. The council members looked at each other in confusion. "It's just an old warship," chuckled Zella, a short alien with blue scales. "Who would even use that?" The others joined in laughter, imagining the ship as a relic from a forgotten time. They couldn't believe that such a broken-down vessel could pose any threat. It looked like it belonged in a museum, not in a galaxy filled with advanced technology. Vorn leaned closer to the screen, squinting his eyes. "Wait! There's something strange about this ship," he said. The ship's engines began to glow with an unusual light, catching everyone's attention. The council members stopped laughing and watched in silence. "I suggest we send a team to investigate," suggested Raxer, a large, muscular alien with a deep voice. "It could be a trap, but it might also hold valuable information." Some members nodded, while others still believed it was a waste of time. Zila waved his hand dismissively. "What can we learn from that old junk? It's not even worth our attention." He leaned back in his chair, crossing his arms with a smug expression. Vorn, however, felt uneasy. "We should not underestimate anything, especially if it's coming toward us. Let's at least check it out." After some debate, the council finally agreed. They sent a small ship to investigate the old warship. Meanwhile, aboard the old ship, a crew of humans was stirring from cryo-sleep. They had been in deep sleep for years, frozen in time, waiting for a moment to wake up. As the systems began to boot up, they heard alarms blaring. What's happening?" shouted Captain Hale, a tough-looking man with short, dark hair. He looked around, trying to get his bearings. "Are we under attack?" The crew quickly checked their systems, and one of the crew members, a tech expert named Lily, shouted, "We're being scanned by an alien ship. They don't know we're human yet." Captain Hale's heart raced. "Prepare for action. We don't know what they want." The crew moved quickly, readying their old warship for anything. Back at the council meeting, the aliens on the small investigation ship were approaching the old warship. They were filled with confidence, laughing and making jokes about how easy this would be. "I can't believe we're wasting our time on this junk," one alien said, grinning. As they got closer, they noticed strange lights flickering on the warship. The laughter faded. Did anyone else see that?" asked one crew member, frowning. Suddenly, alarms blared on their ship. "What's happening?" Another alien shouted, panic rising in his voice. The old warship had suddenly come to life, showing that it was anything but harmless. The investigation crew was stunned. They had expected to find an empty, rusty ship, but instead they were facing something much more dangerous. The council members, watching from afar, began to realize that their laughter might have been a big mistake. Captain Hale smiled as he saw the alien ship approach. "They think they can just laugh at us? Let's show them what this old warship can do." With a confident grin, he activated the ship's systems. The old warship was ready to reveal its hidden power, and the Galactic Council was about to learn a hard lesson about underestimating humanity. As the alien ship closed in, the atmosphere grew tense. The Galactic Council had no idea that their assumptions were about to cost them dearly. Little did they know that the old warship was not just a relic, it was a human-made ship ready for action, and its crew was prepared to defend their home. The small alien investigation ship glided through space, getting closer to the old warship. Inside, the crew buzzed with excitement and confidence. They had laughed at the old ship earlier, but now they felt a strange tension in the air. As they approached, the ship's strange lights flickered, casting shadows on their faces. "Look at that thing," said Zarl, a bright purple alien with 6 arms. He leaned closer to the monitor, his eyes wide with curiosity. "It looks ancient, like a piece of history. More like a piece of junk," chuckled Yana, a sleek, silver-skinned alien. She was known for her sharp wit and even sharper reflexes. "What could possibly be on board? It's probably empty." But even as she spoke, a nagging doubt crept into her mind. They were trained to be brave explorers, but something about this old warship made her uneasy. The ship's shape was unusual, and it emitted a low hum that sent chills down her spine. As the crew continued to approach, the view of the warship became clearer. It was battered and scarred, but there was something majestic about it. The ship's name, USS Freedom, was faintly visible on the side, and it seemed to shimmer in the light of distant stars. "Prepare for scans," ordered the captain, a tall alien named Zelar. He was known for his cautious nature and keen instincts. "I want to know what we're dealing with before we get too close." The crew quickly complied, their fingers flying over the controls. The scanner swept over the old warship, sending back data that filled the screens with numbers and graphs. Zarl's eyes widened as he read the results. "Captain, there are life signs on board," he exclaimed, his voice tinged with surprise. "Multiple readings." Yana's expression shifted from laughter to worry. "What? There shouldn't be anyone alive on that old ship." The captain frowned, deep in thought. "We need to be careful. This could be a trap, or they might be hostile. Let's not take any chances." He glanced at his crew, each of them showing signs of nervousness. Meanwhile, on the USS Freedom, Captain Hale and his crew were gearing up for whatever might come next. The ship's systems hummed to life, and they could see the alien ship on their screens. "They're getting close," Lily said, her fingers flying over the controls. "What should we do, Captain?" Hale took a deep breath. "Let's not show our hand just yet. We need to assess the situation first. If they come aboard, we'll be ready." As the alien ship closed in, the crew on board the USS Freedom felt a mix of excitement and tension. They had been asleep for so long, and now they were finally awake. But what awaited them out there? The investigation crew finally docked their ship with the old warship. The air was thick with anticipation as they prepared to board. Zelar led the way, a laser gun in hand, and the others followed closely behind. The door to the USS Freedom opened with a loud hiss, and the crew stepped inside, their hearts pounding. They were met with darkness and silence. Dust hung in the air, and everything looked untouched. "Hello? Is anyone here?" Zelar called out, his voice echoing in the empty corridors. "Maybe it really is abandoned," Zarl whispered, looking around nervously. But just then the lights flickered on, revealing the interior of the ship. The walls were lined with advanced technology, unlike anything the crew had ever seen. The ship's control room was filled with buttons, screens, and flashing lights. They were amazed. "This is incredible!" Yana exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. "It's like stepping into a museum of technology." But as they explored, the atmosphere shifted. The air felt heavy, and an unsettling silence surrounded them. Suddenly, they heard a loud noise echoing from deeper within the ship. "Did you hear that?" Zarl asked, his voice shaking slightly. "Let's check it out," Zelar said, his voice steady despite the tension. They moved cautiously, their hearts racing, as they followed the sound through the dimly lit hallways. As they approached the source of the noise, they could feel their nerves tightening. What awaited them? Would they find friendly humans or something far more dangerous? The crew was about to discover that they had entered a ship that was more than just old. It was a living symbol of human resilience and power. The USS Freedom was ready to reveal its secrets, and the curious crew was in for a shocking surprise. As the alien crew moved deeper into the USS Freedom, a sense of dread hung in the air. The sound that echoed through the ship grew louder, like a heartbeat thrumming in the silence. They felt a chill run down their spines as they cautiously approached the control room, where the strange noises seemed to come from. Inside the control room, the walls were lined with screens, all flickering to life. The crew of the USS Freedom was still recovering from cryosleep, and they watched in confusion as the alien ship boarded. Captain Hale stepped forward, ready to take charge. "Prepare for action," he ordered, his voice steady. "They may be hostile." Lily quickly scanned the controls. "The ship's systems are coming online. We can defend ourselves if we need to." Just then, the door to the control room opened, and the alien crew stepped inside, their weapons drawn. The two groups faced each other, eyes wide with surprise. The aliens had expected an empty ship, but instead they found humans awake and alert. "What are you doing here?" demanded Zelar, pointing his laser gun at Captain Hale. Hale raised his hand slowly, showing he meant no harm. "We're humans, and this is our ship. Who are you?" The tension was thick as both sides sized each other up. The alien crew was astonished. They had thought they would find nothing but an old warship, but here were living humans, ready to fight. Suddenly, the ship shuddered violently, throwing everyone off balance. Alarms blared and red lights flashed all around. "What's happening?" Yana yelled, her voice filled with panic. "The ship's systems are waking up," Lily shouted, tapping on the controls. "It's responding to us!" As if answering her call, the old warship roared to life. Engines that had been silent for years began to hum with power. The screens displayed information at lightning speed, showing the ship's status and capabilities. "Look at that!" Zarl exclaimed, pointing at the screens. "It's coming online!" Hale's heart raced as he felt the ship awaken around him. The USS Freedom had been in hibernation, but now it was ready for action. The crew felt the rush of energy, and they exchanged nervous glances. They had been asleep for too long, but now they had a chance to fight back. Zelar, still holding his weapon, was taken aback. "This ship is incredible. What kind of technology is this?" "It's human technology," Hale replied proudly. "Built to withstand anything, and now it seems to have a mind of its own." The alien crew, still on edge, realized that they had underestimated the old warship. What they had laughed at was a powerful machine with a capable crew. The ship had a history, and it was not going to be pushed around easily. "Everyone take your positions," Zelar ordered. "We need to figure out what is happening." As the aliens moved, the USS Freedom began to display its advanced weapon systems. Cannons folded out from hidden compartments, and targeting systems locked onto the alien investigation ship. The control room filled with the sounds of machinery whirring to life, as if the ship itself was awakening from a long sleep. Lily noticed a button flashing on the console. "Captain, we can fire the ship's weapons. We have the advantage now." Hale nodded. "Let's show them what we can do." "Prepare to fire!" The alien crew's eyes widened in shock. They had never expected this. The ship they thought was a relic was now a formidable force, ready to defend its territory. Just then, another alarm sounded, and the screens flashed red. "Incoming signals!" shouted one of the alien crew members. "They're sending a distress call." "What?" Hale asked, surprised. "Who are they calling?" "Probably for reinforcements," Zelar said, panic creeping into his voice. "We need to stop them." Without hesitating, Hale pressed the button. "Fire!" The USS Freedom roared with power as it fired its first shot. The blast illuminated space, striking the alien investigation ship with incredible force. The shockwave rippled through the darkness, and the alien crew stumbled back. "What have we done?" Yana exclaimed, her voice trembling. Hale stood firm, looking at his crew. "We've awakened the ship, and now it's time to show the Galactic Council what humans are made of. We won't back down!" As the USS Freedom prepared for battle, the alien crew realized they were no longer the hunters. They had become the prey. The power of the old warship had awoken, and it was ready to defend its crew at all costs. The Galactic Council was about to learn that they had made a grave mistake in underestimating humanity. The fight was just beginning. The USS Freedom hummed with energy as it prepared for battle. Captain Hale stood at the control console, his heart pounding with excitement and fear. The alien crew watched in disbelief as their situation changed in an instant. They had thought they were in control, but now they faced a fully armed human warship. "Prepare for more fire!" Hale shouted, his voice steady despite the tension in the air. The crew of the USS Freedom moved quickly, their training kicking in as they adjusted their systems and aimed their weapons. Outside, the alien investigation ship was still recovering from the surprise attack. The aliens scrambled to regain control of their vessel. "What do we do?" Yana cried, her eyes wide with fear. "We didn't expect this!" Zelar clenched his jaw. "We need to regroup and launch a counterattack. We can't let them get the upper hand." He turned to his crew, determination shining in his eyes. Back on the USS Freedom, Hale felt the weight of leadership on his shoulders. He knew they had to act quickly. "Lily, can you boost our shields? We need to withstand their fire," he ordered. "On it!" Lily replied, her fingers flying over the controls. The ship's shields flickered and glowed brighter, creating a barrier around them. The crew could feel the ship come alive beneath them as if it sensed the danger ahead. Just then, alarms blared again. "Incoming fire!" shouted one of the crew members. The screens displayed the alien ship's cannons charging up, ready to retaliate. "Brace for impact!" Hale yelled. The crew gripped their stations as the alien ship fired a volley of energy blasts toward the USS Freedom. The ship shook as the blasts hit their shields, but the barrier held firm. "Return fire!" Hale commanded. The crew of the USS Freedom sprang into action, their hearts racing. They aimed their weapons and fired back at the alien ship, a brilliant flash illuminating the dark space. The two ships exchanged fire, beams of energy lighting up the void. The alien ship swerved and dodged, trying to evade the powerful shots from the USS Freedom. But the humans were ready, their training and instincts guiding their aim. "We're hitting them!" Lily shouted, her excitement bubbling over. "Their shields are weakening!" Zealer and his crew were stunned. They had never expected the old warship to be so powerful. "We need to change tactics," he yelled. "They're too strong." As the battle raged on, Hale felt a surge of confidence. They were fighting back and they had the advantage. "Keep firing! Don't let up," he encouraged his crew. The alien ship began to panic as they took hit after hit. "We can't hold much longer," Yana cried. "They're too strong." Suddenly, the USS Freedom launched a critical shot that hit the alien ship's engines. A loud explosion rocked their vessel and the lights flickered. "We've disabled their engines," one crew member shouted, excitement in his voice. Zealar's face turned pale. "We're losing power. We have to retreat," he shouted, looking at his crew with urgency. "Too late," Hale replied, a fierce determination in his eyes. "We're not letting you escape. Not this time." The alien crew scrambled to regain control, but it was too late. The USS Freedom surged forward, ready to finish the fight. They fired again, and the alien ship shuddered under the impact. The crew could feel the power of their ship, and they were filled with pride. "Captain, they're asking for a ceasefire," Lily shouted. "They want to talk!" Hale hesitated, sensing the change in the battle's tide. He knew they had won, but could they trust the aliens? "Let's hear them out," he finally decided. "We'll show them we mean business, but we won't let our guard down." Zealar quickly transmitted a message, trembling but resolute. "We surrender! We want to talk!" Hale nodded, maintaining his composure. "Good. Let's see what they have to say." As the two ships drifted in the vast emptiness of space, both crews felt the weight of what had just happened. The USS Freedom had proven its strength, and now the Galactic Council had to rethink their view of humanity. The fight was over, but a new chapter was just beginning. Would they find a way to work together, or would this battle mark the start of a greater conflict? The fate of both species hung in the balance, and the next steps would decide whether peace or war awaited them in the stars. The tension in the control room of the USS Freedom was palpable as the alien ship, damaged but still operational, slowly drifted closer. Captain Hale stood at the front, his expression serious but hopeful. The crew gathered around, their hearts still racing from the recent battle. "Are we really going to negotiate with them?" whispered Lily, glancing at Hale. "They attacked us first." Hale nodded, knowing the stakes were high. "Yes, but this is our chance to show them we can be allies. We've proven ourselves today. Let's see if they can respect that." Zealar's voice crackled over the communication link, shaky but determined. "We are ready to talk, Captain Hale. We surrender and we wish to negotiate terms." "Understood, Zealar," Hale replied, his voice steady. "But know this, we will not let our guard down. Our weapons are still ready." As the alien ship drew alongside the USS Freedom, the atmosphere shifted. The alien crew looked out at the humans, a mix of fear and respect in their eyes. They had expected to find a weak and forgotten warship, but instead they had encountered a force to be reckoned with. Zealar led his crew to the docking bay where he prepared to meet Hale. The air was tense with anticipation. The two captains faced each other, their crews watching closely. "You fought bravely," Hale said, extending a hand. "We did not expect to find living humans aboard this ship." Zealar took a deep breath, then accepted Hale's handshake, a gesture of peace. "We did not expect to face such strength. Your ship is remarkable. We underestimated you." "We have a rich history," Hale replied, his voice firm. "And we will not allow anyone to look down on us or our technology again." As they spoke, both crews relaxed slightly. The battle had forged a bond between them, one that neither side had anticipated. They began to share stories about their worlds, their cultures, and the reasons for their initial confrontation. "Tell me more about your ship," Zealar urged, genuine curiosity replacing his earlier bravado. "What makes it so powerful?" Hale smiled, glad to share. "This ship was built for war, but it has a heart. It's equipped with technology that has been tested through countless battles. We rely on teamwork and trust. That is what makes us strong." Zealar nodded, impressed. "We have much to learn from you. Our people have been focused on technology alone, forgetting the power of unity." The conversation continued, with both sides asking questions and sharing insights. The atmosphere lightened as laughter began to fill the room. The once hostile aliens and humans were finding common ground. Maybe we can work together, Lily suggested, her enthusiasm contagious. Imagine what we could accomplish with our strengths combined. That's a great idea, Hale agreed, looking at Zelar. What if we share technology? We can learn from each other and create something even more powerful. Zealer's eyes lit up with excitement. Yes, together we can be a force for good in the galaxy. We could protect our worlds from those who would harm us. As they finalized their plans, a new respect grew between the two crews. The alien crew, once skeptical of humans, now looked at them with admiration. They had seen firsthand what humans were capable of, and their laughter and stories filled the air with hope. We will return to our people and tell them about this day, Zelar said, his voice strong. You have earned our respect, Captain Hale. We will no longer see you as a threat, but as allies. Hale smiled, relief washing over him. And we will always be ready to stand by your side. This is just the beginning of our relationship. With their new alliance forged, the two ships prepared to depart together. As the USS Freedom and the alien ship set their course, they felt a sense of unity and purpose. They were no longer just individual crews, they were now partners in a larger mission. As they moved through the stars, the universe felt a little less daunting. Together they would face whatever challenges lay ahead, united by their shared experiences and newfound respect for one another. The Galactic Council would soon learn that humanity was not to be underestimated. They were ready to make their mark on the galaxy together.